Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to everyone. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayara Damadhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna. So today we'll see the subject matter of appearance of Varaha. Before we get into the appearance of Varaha, there are a few other discussions that are taking place between Brahma and Manu. So that also we will cover, we will see. And today we are covering from chapter 13. Okay, Canto 3, chapter 13. Yeah, so we'll see that. And so today, basically, what we'll be covering will be the discussion between Vidura and Maitreya, number one. Secondly, we will cover the questions raised by Manu, his father, and the reply is given by his father. Who is his father? Who is his Manu's father?
Brahma.
Brahma, correct. So the reply between Manu and Brahma. So we'll start with the 13th chapter. And I would also like to show you one video today. So that is connected with this 13th shloka. So let's read chapter 3, 13th shloka. First we will read, then we will come to that. Right? So Canto 3, chapter 13, text 13. Yesham natushto bhagavan yajnalingo janardana tesham shamo hi apartaya tesham shamo hi apartaya yadatma nadritah swayam yadatma nadritah swayam. Somebody can read the translation?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Yeah.
Janardana, Lord
Yeah.
Krishna, is the form to accept all the results of sacrifice.
Mm.
If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests.
Correct.
Should I go on with the purport?
Yes. Purport also. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila.
Brahma is deputed as the supreme head of universal affairs, and he in his turn disputes Manu and others as charges the affairs of the material manifestation. But the whole show is for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma knows how to satisfy the Lord, and similarly, persons engaged in the line of Brahma's plan of activities also know how to satisfy the Lord. The Lord is satisfied by the process of devotional service, consisting of the ninefold process of hearing, chanting, etc. It is in one's own self-interest to execute the prescribed devotional service. And anyone who neglects this process neglects his own self-interest. Everyone wants to satisfy his senses, but above the senses is the mind. Above the mind is the intelligence. Above the intelligence is the individual self, and above the individual self is the super self. Above even the super self is the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu Tattva. The primeval Lord and the cause of all causes is Sri Krishna. The complete process of perfectional service is to render service for the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of Lord Krishna, who is known as Janardana.
ॐ ज्ञानन्दमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशालकयः चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। I will show you one video. Then we will look into the moral of the story. All of you will have to tell me what the moral of the story is.
एक मारवाड़ी था, उसको घूमने का बड़ा शौक था। अब वो घूमते घूमते एक ऐसे राज्य में चला गया जहां पर क्या था, हर 5 साल में राजा चुना जाता था, पर चुनाव का तरीका अनोखा था। एक हाथी आता सूंड में माला लेकर और सबके बीच घूमता था। जिसके गले में वो माला डाल देता वही राजा बनता था। अब क्या हुआ, हाथी आया माला लेकर, थोड़ी देर इधर उधर देखा और जाकर माला इस मारवाड़ी के गले में डाल दी। मारवाड़ी हैरान, अरे भाई मैं तो घूमने वाला आदमी हूं, ये कहां फंसा दिया। खैर उसे राजा बना दिया गया, सिंहासन पर बिठाया गया। राजपुरोहित आया, तिलक करते हुए शर्तें सुनाने लगा। भैया आपको 5 साल के लिए राजा बनाया जा रहा है, लेकिन 5 साल पूरे होते ही आपको यहां से सैकड़ों किलोमीटर दूर एक उफनती नदी के किनारे छोड़ दिया जाएगा। उस नदी में घड़ियाल हैं, मगरमच्छ हैं, जिनकी वजह से आप नदी पार नहीं कर सकते। अगर किसी तरह पार कर भी गए तो उसके बाद आएगा एक गहरा जंगल जिसमें हिंसक जानवर और खतरनाक राहें हैं। वहां आप जानो और आपकी किस्मत। अब तक जो भी राजा बना था उसे मालूम था कि 5 साल बाद मरना तय है, तो वह 5 साल बस ऐश करता था, भोग विलास, मजा, तामझाम। लेकिन यह मारवाड़ी अलग निकला। उसने सोचना शुरू किया, अब मुझे 5 साल बाद क्या करना है। राज्य की जो भी आमदनी आती थी उसमें से 51% जनता की भलाई में लगाने लगा और बचे हुए 49% से उसने अपने आगे की प्लानिंग की। पहले साल उसने नदी पर एक पुल बनवाया, दूसरे साल उस पार के जंगल को साफ करवाया, खेती के लायक जमीन बनवाई, तीसरे साल वहां सड़कें बनवाई, लोग वहां बसने लगे, गांव और मोहल्ले बनने लगे। चौथे साल एक छोटा सा महल बनवाया जहां वह आगे जाकर रह सके। 5वें साल अपने जीवन भर का खर्च, जरूरी चीजें, अनाज, सब कुछ वहां स्टोर करवा दिया। अब 5 साल पूरे हो गए। परंपरा के अनुसार लोग उसे ढोल नगाड़ों के साथ विदा करने आए। लोगों की आंखों में आंसू थे। कहने लगे, ऐसा राजा हमने पहले कभी नहीं देखा। वो राजा था मारवाड़ी, शांत मुस्कान के साथ सबको प्रणाम किया और उस पुल पर चढ़ गया जो उसने खुद बनवाया था। लोग अवाक रह गए। हजारों राजा आए गए, मारे गए, लेकिन ये पहला राजा था जो भवसागर को पार कर गया। कथा का संदेश, हम सभी इस धरती पर सीमित समय के लिए आए हैं। ये जीवन 5 सालों की तरह है। जो इस समय को मौज में घमवा देता है वो अंत में उस भवसागर में गिरता है जहां मगरमच्छ, घड़ियाल, दुख और पीड़ा है। लेकिन जो जीवन का उपयोग अच्छे कर्मों, जनसेवा और प्रार्थना में करता है वो इस जीवन से परे उस पार पहुंच जाता है। तो आज ही से भवसागर पार करने के लिए अपना पुल बनाना शुरू कीजिए, ताकि जब आपका कार्यकाल समाप्त हो तो आपको भी सीधे ठाकुर जी के पास बैकुंठ में वास मिले और आपके अच्छे कर्मों की वजह से आपको हमेशा के लिए याद रखा जाए।
So what is the moral of the story? Because the moral was told also in that finally. Any moral of the story?
When you serve the
Yeah.
when you serve the devotees of the Lord shows you the path of righteousness.
Okay. Anybody else want to say something?
That when we, maybe I will say something, that when we have been given a human life, it is like we have been crowned, garlanded and made king. Then we have control over our lives. Then if we have the good sense to prepare for our future journey and become devotees of the Lord, it's like building a bridge towards Vaikunt Loka. And
Hmm.
over there also, in order to, for our well-being, we have to start our spiritual journey from now only, not wait for the time when we are actually ready to go there.
Yes.
That is what I gathered from this story.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Prabhu, everyone you want to satisfy our own senses, but this king properly he used his senses and his knowledge. Whatever Krishna given that knowledge, he used properly, and he planned everything according to his knowledge, and he prepared everything, and he made that plan also very well, and he satisfied Lord also.
Okay, all right. Okay. Anybody else would like to try?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hi. From the story, one that common saying I recollected, that is Sarve tu Sukhinaha Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha.
Okay.
So one who thinks good of others first, and then his own. That should be the guiding principle in our life.
Okay. All right. Okay. So different reasons that people are given. This man who became a king, we have to compare with our life. He was there for 5 years as a king. And we are here in this world for about 60, 70, 80, 90 years. So that is the first thing. It is about our life actually. We are also here. The king was there for 5 years. After 5 years, he has to go. He cannot stay there, right? Like that after 70, 80 years, we have to leave. We cannot stay here. Now, during this 5 years time, what the other kings were doing, they were utilizing all their facilities, all the money they got on their self-enjoyment, on their own sense gratification. Whereas this king, what he did, he started building a bridge to reach the other side of to cross over the ocean, to cross over the river where there are very dangerous aquatics, and also the other side of the river where there were a lot of fierce animals. He wanted to, he did everything. So we also need to build a bridge, because according to our karma, what will happen is we will again take a birth. And by that time, again, we do not know what will happen. There's a lot of, for all the papa karmas that we do in this janma, we'll have to struggle and we are going to suffer. We'll suffer. But there's a way to escape from that suffering by taking up the devotional service of the Lord. And once you take up the devotional service of the Lord, then what happens is you're able to easily cross the Bhavasagar. Bhavasagar means the cycle of birth and death. Everything will be able to cover easily, and that's what this is saying. Okay. So so you could easily, so if we take up to the devotional service of the Lord, then we will be able to easily cross over the ocean of ignorance, understand the real purpose of life, and be happy even in the next life. Because always remember, if I am having struggles in this life, it's because of my past previous karmas of the previous lives. Like each one undergoes different troubles, is it not? Some people undergo bodily troubles, some people undergo mental troubles, there are relationship problems, there are so many things that's happening. But ultimately, there is no peace of mind for people. That's all this. They're all because of the past karmic reactions. So if I committed the past karmic reactions, my past karmic reactions became the foundation for this life. So what activities I do in this life will become the foundation for the next life. That will become the foundation for the next life. So we should know this, and that's why we should do the right thing in this life. And the right thing to do in this particular shloka, what is he saying? Text 13, the Supreme Personal of Godhead, Janardana, is the form to accept all the results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests. This is not. And in the purport, what was said? How to satisfy the Lord? It
is
says,
satisfied by the process of devotional service, consisting of the ninefold process of hearing, chanting, etc.
next line.
It
It
is
is
in
in
one's own self-interest to execute prescribed devotional service, and anyone who neglects this process neglects his own self.
uh,
Shall I continue?
yeah,
Everyone wants to satisfy his senses, but above the senses is the
senses
mind,
demand is intelligence. Yeah,
and above the senses is the mind, and above the mind is the intelligence. Above the intelligence is the individual self, and above the individual self is super self. Above even the super self is the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu Tattva. The primeval Lord and the cause of all causes is Sri Krishna. The complete process of perfectional service is to render service for the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of Lord Krishna, who is known as Janardhan.
that is the ultimate purpose of life for all of us. Right? So, the Lord is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It says, no? It is Sarva Karana Karanam. So we need to know this, and our life is also taken care of very nicely if we execute our activities properly in the service of Lord Krishna. Our duty, our main duty is to serve the Supreme Lord, because we have all, why we should serve the Supreme Lord? Now that we will go forward and then we will see the discussions and come to that. Okay. So now we saw in the last chapter, last time, that from the body of Brahma, Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa, they came out. Once they came out, afterwards, what happened was they got married. After getting married, they also produced children. That's what happened. Now, that production of children comes later. But before that, now we'll see what happened. When they got married and these two people came out, when it was explained by Maitreya Muni to Vidura. Now you have to understand here. Now, the discussion, now we are discussing Bhagavatam here, right? This discussion was explained by Sukdev Goswami to
Maharaj.
by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And, that whatever Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, they are discussing, they are quoting whom in that discussion? They are quoting the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. Last time we saw that, no? It's the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. And Maitreya is quoting to Vidura whose conversation? Brahma and?
Four Kumaras.
No, Brahma and Manu.
Manu.
That's what I said. No.
Swayambhu Manu.
So, in Bhagavatam, you will find story inside story inside story inside another story. That's will happen. And that's what we are discussing here. So, let's take it one by one. Let us get these things clear first. Now, first, the Bhagavatam is being spoken by whom? By
Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj.
Sukdev Parikshit Maharaj. Sukdev Goswami is quoting whose conversation? Vidura and Maitreya. Maitreya is explaining to Vidura. And Maitreya is quoting whose story? Krishna Mataji?
Brahma to Manu.
Brahma and Manu. That's what. Okay. So now here, Vidura is asking the question to to Maitreya Muni. Oh, Maitreya Muni, you told me that from Brahma's body, these two individuals came. And the individuals who came out, what did they do? They are great personalities. Manu is a great personality is a great devotee of Krishna. So, what happened actually when he came out? When he came out, what did Swayambhu, the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his wife? This is second shloka. Okay, so from where we'll go. So, what did he do after getting his wife? Then he says that Swayambhu Manu was a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. Being a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, he must have done a lot of great devotional service. He is a pure devotee of Krishna. And because he is a pure devotee of Krishna, the quality in Swayambhu Manu and the quality in Krishna will be more or less the same. In the spiritual world, we need to understand there is no difference in quality between the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees. There is no difference in quality between the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees. Qualitatively, the devotees are as good as the Supreme Lord himself. He says that, and then he says, persons who hear about the pure devotees from another pure devotee, that will have a solid impact. So we all have got our spiritual masters. We hear from our spiritual masters. We understand many things. And our spiritual masters also explain about the other pure devotees. And a pure devotee's story or a pure devotee's life, how he led the life, what type of devotional service he did, all these things, how pure he was, all these things must be heard from another pure devotee. Why so? Because when we hear about a pure devotee from the mouth of another pure devotee, it has got a solid impact on all of us and that can bring a transformation. Pure devotees are so important for Krishna that Krishna even says that even if you worship my pure devotees, it's as good as worshipping. Even if you don't worship me, but if you worship my pure devotee, then also I am very, very happy. I will bless you. Any example for this? Where a pure devotee was worshipped and is worshipped and
Srila
the Lord
Prabhupada.
gets... That's okay. That's fine. Yes, correct. You are right. Any other case where any other incident?
Prahlada.
So yes, Bhakta Prahlad was there. Bhakta Prahlad is a great devotee of Krishna, is it not? So what did Bhakta Prahlad said? Before I worship you, O Narasimhadeva, first I must worship my spiritual master who happens to be the Narad Muni. Because of him only I got into all this situation. All this, I've got the knowledge. So I must worship. Hanuman, great devotee of the Supreme Lord.
Dasya Bhakti.
Yeah. So Hanuman is a great devotee of Lord Rama. And you find people worshipping Hanuman everywhere.
What about Dhruva?
Although, yes, Dhruva is also a great devotee, but Dhruva is also a great devotee. So we hear about great Dhruva's charitra, and worshipping and listening to Dhruva's charitra can bring transformation in all of us.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an incarnation of the Lord himself.
Yeah.
He is an incarnation of the Lord in the form of a devotee. So he is also a great devotee of the Lord. So the point is this, that worshipping the devotees, worshipping the spiritual master, who is also a pure devotee, that paves the way for us to reach Krishna very fast. So here, Vidura is telling to Maitreya Muni, this Swayambhu Manu is a great devotee. And the stories about him, his lifestyle, everything, how did he spend his life here, what all he did, that is something which we all need to know. And that will be really bring transformation in all of us. So Sukadeva Goswami, he's explaining this to now Parikshit Maharaj. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words, and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak. Now Maitreya Muni is going to talk to Vidura, and he says that now what is Maitreya Muni going to do when he's talking? He's going to give his teachings, or is he going to talk of the conversation between Brahma and Manu? Brahma and Manu is going to talk. Okay, because he's a sage, the sage Maitreya is going to talk to Vidura. And I said, no, there is a story inside a story. So what is the story? He is going to tell the story between Vidura, Manu and Brahma. Because that was the question raised by Vidura. What was the question raised by Vidura? Please tell me about Manu. Manu came out. What did he do after getting the wife? That was the question. So obviously the answer has also to be, he is going to quote the conversation between Brahma and Maitreya, and Manu is going to talk. And he says that, text 7, he says, you are the father of all the living entities and the source. Now this is being talked by this one. What is his name? Manu. You are the father of all living entities and the source of their subsistence, because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Now, Maitreya is repeating what Swayambhu Manu has asked the questions. So he says that. So Swayambhu Manu is addressing Brahma and saying that you are the father of all living entities and the source of their subsistence, because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. So, who is the starting point for all the living entities? Brahma. That's what it says, na? Brahma is the starting point for all the living entities, because Manu is creating. Manu is the son of Brahma. So, through the son, it is coming. Like that. You understand? So, actually, if you see, the source for all the living entities is the Supreme Lord Himself. Aham bija pitamaha, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Is it not? So, why Krishna is the source of all the living entities and not Brahma? Anybody to answer that question?
Because Brahma was born out of Krishna only.
Correct. That's it. Because Brahma was born from Krishna, from the navel of Vishnu.
Lord Krishna.
Yeah, Lord Krishna. That's why he is the original creator of all the living entities.
And Brahma is the secondary creator.
Secondary creator, correct. And now comes the Manu. So like that it comes. Okay. So even for all of us, if you see, we have all come from somebody. That's why we have got these Gotras. You know, Gotra is the lineage for everyone. And this Gotra takes us to the 10 sons of Brahma, who were all born. You know, not only 10, there are many sons come. So it takes us, all of us. That is the starting point from where we have all come now. The tree is completely from there. So that tree, where does it take? Again, it goes to Brahma, and then finally to Lord Krishna only it goes. So we are all, that's why we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. When the people say, why are you part and parcel of the Supreme Lord? This is the answer. You should be able to give this answer if someone asks you why it is so. Okay. So that's that. So he says, you are the Father, the source of supply for all his needs. See, it's like this. Now, here what we find is, the father is there. Father takes care of the son's requirements, the children's requirement, and the children are dependent upon the father. And when the children grow up, who has to take care of whom?
The children have to take care of the father.
Very good. Gita's iPhone. First time you talked. Nice, Mataji, for your participation. So it's the duty of the children to take care of the father. Now here, what is Manu doing? Manu is asking, what is the question he's asking to Brahma? He's saying, you are the father of all the living entities, the source of their subsistence, because they are all born of. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. This is text 7. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Nowadays, any son is asking like this? There may be
Nobody asks in the Kali Yuga.
No. There may be sons also who ask these questions, children. Sons means sons, daughters, everybody.
In
All the
Kali
children.
Yuga, later when the father asks the son, what service I can do for you?
Yeah. So, the children, the duty of the children is to take care of the parents. It has to be. It is very natural. It has to be done. That's what it says. Okay. So that's there. And then the next sloka says, O worshipful one, that is text 8. O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity, so that we can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. Now we see here, what we need to understand is, Brahma is not only a genealogical father, but he is also a spiritual father. He is both. Because Manu is born from it, so genealogically he is born. But also he is the spiritual father for Manu, because Brahma has got all the Vedas and everything from from his father. And who is his father?
Brahma.
Brahma got all the Vedas and everything
Krishna.
from his father Krishna.
Krishna.
From his Supreme Lord, he got it. So he has got it, and here, so that's why he is also a spiritual father. Now, in this case, what we have to understand is, so from genealogical father, we have a duty to serve the genealogical father also, and we also have got a duty to serve our spiritual father. We have got. Okay, so spiritual master is a spiritual father for people who take Diksha. For them, he is the spiritual father. And he says, see, what is happening is Brahma is teaching to his son. What is he teaching? Something of his own, or what he has learned from Krishna?
What he has learned from Krishna.
What we have learned from
Yes,
Krishna.
what he has learned from Krishna. So he is teaching only what has been learned from his father, Krishna. So that is coming in what? It is coming in what? Is it coming in parampara? If there is a case? Yes, it is coming in parampara. Like that. So whoever is coming in that Brahma's teachings, that is called Brahma Sampradaya. That is, understand? That is Brahma Sampradaya. And we, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ishwarapuri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Prabhupada, and all the other gurus in ISKCON, they are all coming in this Brahma Sampradaya, starting from Lord Brahma. There are 4 Sampradayas, I have said many times. Anybody remembers the 4 Sampradayas? What are the 4 Sampradayas?
Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya,
Kumar Sampradaya,
Kumar Sampradaya.
Sampradaya and Kumar Sampradaya.
Yeah, Kumar Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, and
Sri
Brahma.
Sampradaya.
and Brahma Sampradaya.
Brahma.
Okay, the 4 Sampradayas are there. And we are all coming, ISKCON, we are coming in
Brahma Sampradaya.
Brahma Sampradaya.
in Brahma Sampradaya we are coming. Okay, so that is there. So this Brahma Sampradaya is coming, and so that's why he says that we can. So here Manu is asking this question, and it's being explained. Brahma, you are the direct recipient of the entire knowledge from Lord Krishna himself. So please let me also know what should I do, how I should do. That question is asking. So now Brahma is answering, and Brahma is saying, my dear son, now this is text 9. My dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you and desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions. Now see, there are 2-3 things that we need to understand here. The duty of every son and daughter is to surrender to their parents, to listen to their parents' statement. Do you have any other example of someone where the son listened to his father completely and did what his father wanted?
Lord Rama.
Lord Rama is best example. He listened to what his father said and he went to the forest also. Is it not? So like that. So yeah. So there is a duty of every child to listen to what the parents' instructions are. And when they listen to the parents' instructions, what happens to the parents? They become happy or they become unhappy? They become very happy because of that. And when they become happy, what do the parents do?
They bless you.
They bless you. And the blessings of the parents is very, 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 very important for all of us. You know, very, very important for everyone. Because whether others bless or not, actually the blessings of all the elders are very important. Okay, all the elders is very, very important. And especially the blessings of father and mother is all very important. And when does that blessing comes? When I do what they like, or when I do even without doing anything, it comes even otherwise.
When you do what they like.
Then the blessing is from the bottom of their heart, it comes. You know, when we do what they like, then the blessing comes from the bottom of their heart. And that blessings is very, very important for our future. But sometimes what happens is, because we are all independent souls in this world, sometimes we misuse our independence and don't listen to what our parents advise us. We think that I already know what I have to do. I've grown up, so I know. Yeah, you may be a grown-up man, no doubt about it. But still, even if you are 60 years, 70 years, and your father is alive, still you need his blessings. It's very important, because the blessings of the parents, of the elders, makes our life successful. So for that we need, not materially, also spiritually, it makes it really successful for us. So we need that blessings. So here he says, "O hero," text 10, "O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required." What I talked now recently. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. When we get the instructions from our father, whether it is genealogical father or spiritual father, we have to take it really seriously, and we should try to see how I can execute those instructions for the pleasure of my father and for the pleasure of my spiritual father. Because the minute the spiritual father is pleased, automatically what happens is the entire parampara gets pleased, and once the entire parampara is pleased, the Supreme Lord is also pleased. The Supreme Lord says, I am very pleased once my devotees are pleased. And Krishna says, wherever my devotees are there, that's where I am there. And if my devotees are displeased, then what happens? Then I am also not happy. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan na gati kutopi. This is Yasya prasadan bhagavat prasado. If the spiritual master is pleased, automatically the Supreme Lord is also pleased. Yasya prasadan. If the spiritual master is not pleased, na gati kutopi, then I don't have any gati. Gati is a word everybody understands. Or gati, that's the thing it comes, So that is a gati. So that gati is also mentioned here. This says, and he says, after saying this in text 11, he is saying that since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of yajna. So now he is telling him now we have got a job to do. And what is the job to do? Because you have to beget children and fill this world with children. Why is he giving that instruction to Manu? Because Brahmaji is trying to fulfill the instructions given to him by Krishna. You go back to the previous verses. When Brahmaji was created, what did Brahmaji tell? Brahmaji asked him, no, you have created me for what purpose? He asked us, no? He says you have to beget children and fill this entire universe. See, Bhagavatam, we should know, we keep on hearing, we'll forget what we have read before. So we'll have to really listen to lots of videos every day. At least I am doing that. YouTube every day I hear at least 1 hour I hear, continuous lecture. That is from different chapter, from different cantos it comes to. So as we keep on hearing it, we will be able to remember and we'll be able to correlate many things there completely. Okay, fine. So here he says, since you are my obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performances of yajna. Now he says, rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Personality of Godhead. Why is he saying that? Because ultimately, that is the whole purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? Just to have all sense enjoyment in this world, or ultimately go back to Godhead? Ultimately, we have to go back to Godhead. If we have to go back to Godhead, then we have to follow the regulative principles, especially the 9 processes of devotional service: Travanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vandanam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Sakyam, Padasevanam, Sakyam, Dasyam, Atmanivedam. Correct. So 9, this thing comes. So the 9th process of devotional service is given to us, and that we have to learn. And when we do that, then only it becomes easier for us to take up to the devotional service of the Lord and go back to God. That is the whole purpose. That's why he says, rule the world in persons or the principles of devotional service under the Supreme Personal God. Then he says, text 12, he says, O King, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. So what is the duty of a king or of the government? To protect its citizens, to take care of its citizens, not exact taxes from the citizens. Nowadays, you see what is happening, nobody knows. Every government, every politician, every person who is ruling the country, they are interested only in filling up their pockets. And the government officials also, that's what happens. Not everybody, there may be some exceptions also. I'm not saying that. But the point is this, but what is the instruction given by Brahma here? He says, protect your children, protect all the citizens properly. Don't exploit them. Take care of them properly and engage them in the ultimate objective of life. And that is to go back to Godhead. They all should become devotees of Krishna. That is your duty. So as a king, you must set that a right example and do that. I'm saying this, and when you do this, what happens? I will be pleased. Not only I will be pleased, even the Supreme Lord will be very pleased because you are taking care of everybody and engaging them in the right service. And finally, text 13 says, the Supreme Personal Regarded Janardana, Lord Krishna, is the form to accept all the results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is in the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interest. So we have to know what is our self-interest. Our self-interest. Now what is the self-interest for people? To gather money, to get a lot of money. Get money, get one house, 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses, get more than 1 car, get the latest mobile. All these things have become the most important thing for people. But actually here, he says, Brahma says, the most important thing for people is to worship Janardana. That's what he says. So in that context only, I showed you the video, because people have forgotten what their self-interest, real true self-interest is. People have forgotten that. And people think that material benefits, material comforts, that's what should be the self-interest. So with this, I'll end the class for the day, but we'll do a quick recap, open up and tell one by one point right from the beginning. Okay. First point first.
One important point which I understand is like when we hear about a pure devotee from another pure devotee, it tends to bring us a lot of transformation in us also, because many times it's always said that Supreme Lord is also happy if you can, what do you say, that this thing that correlate with the pure devotee. That is, if you're this thing, it brings about a transformation in us also. As we say that pure devotees also tend to have similar qualities, like so just like the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, they have got the same qualities.
Same qualities.
Same qualities, not similar qualities.
Same qualities.
In the absolute world, they are the same qualities like the Supreme Lord. Very good. Okay, another point. Next, another person.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
We have to follow our father instruction, same like our Guru Maharaj instruction.
Yeah. So both genealogical father and
Spiritual father.
Spiritual father.
Both we have to follow. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Third, somebody else.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna, Pandyaji. Yes.
We have to do good for all, for others. So Krishna will take care of us.
No, we have to do good for everybody. That is already taken. That is there. Once you are in this world, everyone is expected to be good to others. That is minimum every human being is supposed to do. But if you are being good, that doesn't mean that Krishna will take care of you or anything like that. No, it's not like that.
Sir, we have to devote to Krishna.
Yeah, we have to become devotees
We
of
have to
Krishna.
devote ourselves to Krishna.
So because we should remember the underlying message of Bhagavad Gita is Sarvadharman Pratyaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Bhagavad Gita's underlying message to everybody is that become my devotee and surrender to me. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So, yes, you can say like this as the message is love Krishna, love all the devotees of Krishna. That you can say. And be good to Krishna and be good to Krishna's devotees. Well attempted, Saurabh Pandya. Very good. First time you are talking. Good. Next, somebody. Yeah.
If you give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, the
Hmm.
Lord is pleased by the service you are rendering.
Yes, the Lord gets peace with his service. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Like
Yeah.
you told us the story about the king being garlanded and how he prepares the bridge and how
Yes,
he prepares
yes.
the palace.
Yeah.
It is important to prepare our journey and prepare ourselves for the journey to further in our spiritual journey towards the Supreme Lord.
Excellent. This is a point nobody touched. You touched that. There's a starting point. We have to really we have to put the foundation for our future life.
We have to prepare.
And we have to prepare because everybody has to go on this journey. Everybody has to leave this world. Like the king completed 5 years, we also have to complete our 70, 80, 90, 100 years, whatever it may be. We have to complete and we have to go next. So this life becomes the foundation for our next life. Very good. Okay. Any other point?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Uh,
Okay, let me get into this. Yeah.
Hemlata.
Hemlata, yes.
The point Krishna Mataji told that the Raja's story, I have a point here that he built a bridge. Now, all devotees, they also have to share so that the future, many people can follow and become devotees of Lord. They can impart knowledge. He has built a bridge so that he reaches, but also the followers can reach.
Very good. Correct. That is also right.
So the same way, knowledge can be imparted so that one devotee, a true devotee, can make somebody else a true devotee by sharing his knowledge.
Correct. Not only sharing knowledge, but also engaging the other person in the devotional service of Krishna. You see, sharing knowledge is by itself is not sufficient. So just sharing knowledge by itself is not sufficient. What is needed is share the knowledge and engage others in the devotional service. Because ultimately, what we have to know is every bird has to fly for itself. Every bird has to fly for itself, So just by giving knowledge, that is not sufficient, but the bird has to also learn how to fly. That's
yes.
Good point. Very good point. Yeah.
So in the Bhagavad Gita in the past, you had told us that not only by furthering your own spiritual growth, but by, like you said just now, by encouraging or by, telling other people and about it and getting them to join and become devotees, you get a lot of blessings by doing that.
Yes. The satisfaction also out of that.
Yes.
So like you have been doing, quite a few others also have been doing. They talk to others, try to make others devotees of the Lord, get them into the movement and explain to them about Krishna consciousness. That brings a lot of happiness to everybody. Yeah, Sunta Mataji, you have anything to say?
Yeah. No, you have said about the parents also, like when the children are small, then parents take care of them, and when they grow, then at the old age, because Bhavasagar, everybody has to cross that, and then at the end of the parent, when they are old, you should take care of them. So I mean, they are internally they will bless you. It will be.
Correct.
It is not to be spoken words, but if your service, or you render the service to others with full faith, then you will be blessed.
Very good. Correct. That's also right.
Prabhu, I have a point to make.
Sorry?
Yeah, I have a point to make. What I like today, the take from your today's presentation is very much is about our parents. You know, while we all receive blessings from elders, it is well taken. But the blessing one receives from, from your parents is very, very, very valuable, which probably at the time when you were there, or you were young and they were there, you would not have appreciated that. But this is a time when they are not there, you really find how nice they have been to you and how blessed you have been in life. Very important. Thank you.
Very important. Yeah, right. It's very important, no? And why many times children don't take care of the parents? Because of the misuse of their independence. They feel that it's not required. Because of the independence they have, they feel that this is a parent's duty to take care of the children. That's what many of the people, grown-up people say, you know. But they don't consider that it's also my duty to take care of my parents. That many people don't feel that way. That's really very sad. You know, that is going on the Western culture. In the Western culture, once you become old, you are put in the old age home. So many people in India also started thinking that we have to put them in the old age home. But that is not our culture. The true Vedanta culture, the true Sanatana Dharma culture is that every living entity, every individual has to be taken care of, especially within the family. Everyone has to be taken care of, because that way everyone is able to do their devotional service for the Lord peacefully. That's very important. Only when your mind is peaceful, then you will be able to do your devotional service also.
I think, Prabhuji, it has to be registered in the mind of every child when he is a child, is that if I am taking care of you today, when you grow up, your children will also take care of you like that only. So in that process, if we create that kind of a spirit around, that naturally then it will start happening, that when a father is taking care of the child has been told that when you grow old, your children will take care of you only when you will take care of your parents.
Yes. So that was our Sanatana Dharma. That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's the way it was, because it was a joint family and the parents are being, even the old parents, they used to stay with the sons only. You know, they are not kept separate. But nowadays they are asked to go and stay in old age home and other things, especially when the parents become single. More problem at that time for them, you know. So they need someone for emotional connect. They need somebody. Everybody needs an emotional connect, no? So we have got certain things in our heart. When it is there, I tell my wife tells me. But when one of the partners is not there, whom do we tell? Then we have to tell our children, our son or daughter who is close to us, we talk to them. And if they are not available at that time, then it becomes really difficult. So that emotional connect is very, very important for everybody. Am I right or not? What do you feel?
Yes. Very true. Very true.
All right. Any questions anybody has got?
Why Lord Krishna or Vishnu wanted to create this universe in the first place? Gave the duty to Brahma, you do this, create this, then Manu and all that. Why it was necessary for them to create this world?
Simply, this is an age-old question, and my answer is also an age-old answer for you. Okay, so as I said, 75% of the children of Krishna are staying with Krishna only. It is the 25% the living entities who have come into this universe, into this world. Okay, so now what has happened is, it's like this. You have got about 10 children or 1 or 2 children run away from your house, or they don't want to listen to you and they become a rebel. So what happens to them? They run away from the house and go somewhere else and try to stay there independently and all these things they do. So this 25% also, at one point of time or the other, they wanted to run away from Krishna and wanted to live independently like Krishna they wanted to live. So Krishna told them, like the father tells the children, if you leave and go You will not live happily. You will have lots of difficulties if you go. Don't go. I'm taking care of you completely here. Stay with me. But sometimes the children say, no, I want to go and stay separately, independently. I want to do. Father tries to persuade the child. The child doesn't listen. Then finally what the father says, okay, go and try. See what happens. Then the child comes out without any protection. And then what happens to the child? The child really struggles. Afterwards, it becomes an ego problem also. The child doesn't know whether I can go back to my father or not. The father is wanting the child to come back. But the child becomes an ego problem for the child. He says, how will I go back to my father? I don't want to go back to him. What will my father think? All these various questions come into his head. And he refuses to go and he struggles in this world. And he tries to lead an independent life. And in the process, the child commits a lot of mistakes, commits a lot of sinful activities, various things. For everything, the child has to go through the reactions. And that's what is happening to us. That's how the answer to your question is, because we rebelled against the desire of Krishna, we didn't want to stay with him, we wanted to live independently. We came out from there, and having come here, we are struggling and we really do not know how to go back. For various reasons. One, I don't want to follow the instructions given by Krishna. So I want to hear. So even when Krishna, why did he create this world? That is another question that comes up, right? For you. That was your question. So as a rich father, my son is going somewhere. What does he try to do? When the son is a rich father, he still tries to create a comfort for the child. When the child is going somewhere else. So Krishna has created all this comfort for us. But then the child misuses the comfort of the father. I got a very live example of this. Puji, one of my friends, his son, when he was studying in the 9th or 10th standard, he said, I don't want to live with you. My friend is staying in Pedder Road. Okay. And he said, I don't want to stay with you. I want to go separate. So the father said, where will you go? There was a big fight in the house. Then the father said, okay, I'll buy a house for you in Goregaon. So he has bought a house in Goregaon. And that boy of 9th standard, 10th standard he got one girl also and went and stayed in that house. And every month the father was giving him something like about 30,000, 40,000 rupees he was giving him to take care of that. The boy got totally spoiled. Of course, that's a different thing. But the point what I'm trying to say is here, because the father was very rich, the father is very rich, he was providing that facility. Now he has stopped realizing that. But the point is this, he was providing for the comfort of the son. Although you are independent, you should have money. But the father never realized that this boy has come and staying with a girl there. He didn't realize. That was an infatuation, very immature love it was. And they were staying there. The minute he knew it, he stopped everything. He said, I'm not going to fund you anymore. But the point is, being a rich father, he said, if you're staying alone, I'll provide you some facilities. That's what he did. Okay. Any other question anybody has? All right. Okay, so we'll wind up the class for the day. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavatam Granth Raj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, everyone.